So iOS 19 is going to be one of those versions of software that's basically going to be coming out in the next year. So we're going to start actually seeing the betas of iOS 19 coming out in less than probably 8 months from now, which is pretty crazy to think about. But the thing I'm starting to think about is that there's a pretty high likelihood that iOS 19 could actually end up going through and kind of breaking a lot of different devices. Now, what I basically mean by this is that within iOS 19, there could be a humongous statement where there could be a lot of devices that could end up, getting drop support of iOS 19. And if Apple ends up sticking with iOS 18 as the main, the main ending point for a lot of these phones, I could probably see how there could be a humongous, situation where there could be a lot of iPhones on iOS 19 also end up going through and kind of, tailoring down a little bit. So what I mean by this is within iOS 19, indirectly, if the iPhone XR and iPhone 11s are basically done getting software support, that would mean the iPhone 12s are going to be those iPhones that are going to be the lowest supported iPhones on iOS, on iOS 19. That would be a pretty sad thing to see, because if we're going to go through and pick up an iPhone, I would love to get an iPhone that's still going to be supported with software. And if the iPhone 12 is one of those phones that's the lowest and the iPhone 11s aren't supported with software anymore, that means a lot more people are going to have to spend a lot more money to go ahead and get an iPhone like an iPhone 12 rather than getting something like an iPhone 11. So that right there could be a pretty big difference. That could be a really big, swaying point of people not going through and picking up something like an iPhone 11 anymore. So that would mean that if you're going to go through and pick up an iPhone like an iPhone 11, iPhone XR, those iPhones just aren't going to be supported with software anymore. And that is going to be a really big, turn off for those phones. So if your iPhone's not supported with software anymore, that is going to probably not going to be the best situation to own an iPhone that is still, unsupported with software. So that could be a scenario that you kind of put yourself in where, hey, if you go and get an iPhone that's still unsupported with software, you might as well go and give it up. You might as well not keep it for too long, because you might put yourself in a situation where that iPhone could end up breaking, could end up having some issues. It may not be the best supported iPhone of all time. So that could be another situation you might put yourself in as well. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is that if you go ahead and get yourself an iPhone like an iPhone 11 and iPhone XR, and those iPhones are done getting software support sooner than later, that could be a really big turnoff, and it probably wouldn't make a lot of sense to go and buy an iPhone that is basically unsupported with software as of this point. So if iOS 19 unsupports a lot of iPhones, that could be a pretty big issue. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.